Hi, it's Jessie Jobson. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a book review about Mitch Albom's The Next Person You Meet in Heaven. So, yeah, The Next Person You Meet in Heaven. It's the sequel to The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. And you don't have to read this one, like, let's say you just want to jump into this one. It's a standalone, like you could read it on its own, but it is kind of cool to hear the first story because it does have a lot of playoffs. So they talk about a character, Eddie, from the first book, and that's who the main character is from. And so the second book is really a play off of that and just someone in the first book. So it goes off really deep into their life and their afterlife. So I don't like to do any spoilers on my book reviews. So I never really give like plot and too much about the characters, all that kind of good stuff. So I'd have to say again, he gave me a book that just made me, it made me like happy and it made me sad. I mean, like in a good sad, right? So if you need a book that's like a cup of like warm, cozy tea that makes you feel good about the world and about dying and about just like, you know, those life lessons. I feel like he does such a flawless job of putting the life lessons into his writing. He does such a good job with all of that. So this one, I guess, what is the life lesson that I'd have to say? I'm not going to spoil it again, like I said, but the main life lesson, so you guys kind of get a feel for his work, is it's kind of, he just reminds you that no matter what you're going through in life, that you're always being touched by, or you, not that you're always being touched by, or how do I say that? Our lives are so intertwined that it's like we don't even realize how intertwined they are, right? And that's kind of like the beauty and the miracle of it. So that really shines through on this book, showing how much of an impact like being together in this world that we have with one another. And sometimes you don't even know like the littlest things that you do. Sometimes you find out in the afterlife, right? That's something that you learn in the afterlife. And that's what his message is that don't take our connection and our puzzle piece relationships for granted, because it really does, what you go through makes such a big difference for what someone else goes through in the world too. So that's a cool thing. He does. So one thing that I really liked about this book versus the 5 people that you meet in heaven was he really became, for me anyways, a more seasoned author and writer in this book. His descriptions of people and places and things were so, I don't even know, like more flavorful, I guess would be the right term to say. Is he really did such, like, I was just like, I couldn't get enough of reading this book. I literally did it in, I have kids and I have no time to read, but I read it in a few days. So that's how good it was. What's another thing about this book that's different than his others? So I feel like with this one, he really, there's a lot of like things that I really enjoyed as a woman in this book. Part of it is like really connected with the primary character, because she was this young woman. She, like I said, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but she had a lot of trials and tribulations through life, and then she kind of came out on a different end of things, and just her following her through those journeys, like when they go back in time and she relives those moments. It was just a really powerful connection for moms and like daughter and mother relationships and things like that. So the mom and the daughter's relationship is a lot of this book, and so that was kind of cool to read. And I know he's kind of done that in some other books, like he did a mother-son relationship, and really honed in on that in For One More Day, and that's where I fell in love with Mitch Albom. But yeah, so it's kind of, he has a theme in his book. So if you love Mitch Albom, you're gonna love this book. And if you've read The 5 People That You Meet in Heaven, you are gonna, hands down, I'm gonna say that you're gonna love this one even more if you like that one. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good book, a really good read. He's one of those authors that it's like you don't want to put it down. So and I feel like each book that I read of his, I get more and more into the different types of books he has, because they all have the same type of theme where they're like, you're like a life lesson, right, that you're learning through a story, which is really awesome. But I feel like they kind of have their own like vibe to them. So this was a really good book. I give it a 4.5 stars, because I don't want to give all of the books that I read a 5-star, but it was pretty close. Like, I'm being really picky when I give them a 4.5. So it was really, really good. And yeah, all right, I think that's all I had to say about this book. So go out and check it out. It's in your library. See this, I didn't even purchase it, I just got it on the library. All right, well, hope this is good wherever it meets you. Have a good rest of your day, or good night.